We have never seen a player like Caitlin Clark before in basketball. Well, actually, we have. We've seen one. We have seen one player in my lifetime that is at the level of relevance of Caitlin Clark, as far as bringing people from all over the damn world to watch this person play. And it's not about the team, it's not about anything else. We've maybe seen two. Kobe at his peak. Yeah, there was not the mania. There was not this type of mania around Kobe. LeBron at his peak. Unbelievable. My opinion to go. There was not the type of mania. It's Stephen Curry and Caitlin Clark. Before we get on to, if you guys are new to the channel, subscribe. We are trying to hit 17,000 subscribers by the end of the day. But why do I say that? She might be the most popular basketball player we have ever seen. And you might be saying, oh, but like, she only has 700,000 votes. Some of them count for double. You can vote multiple times. I'm pretty sure you could in the NBA as well. And we have not seen one player double the amount of viewership in a sports league in a long time. In like pro sports. Like obviously it was what Tiger did for golf, what Serena might have done for tennis. But what Caitlin Clark has done for this league, you can see 9 of the top 36 voted players, and that includes all voting, were Fever players. Players that aren't even in the rotation for the Indiana Fever were in the top 20 in votes. Do you know how crazy that is? Katie Lou Samuelson, I think, was in the top 15 in votes. Katie Lou Samuelson, like, she might not be at times, doesn't even look like a top 15 player on the Fever. And I know there are only 12 players in the Fever. But if you also take into account, they had Celeste Taylor, they cut a few players. At times, she hasn't even looked top 15. Actually, to be fair, Demir Stantas has really looked bad. But it has been a mania like no other. You can see right here, this is the record for the largest crowd ever at the T-Mobile Arena. 20,000. And by the way, it was only moved the day before. It was moved from like a 12,000 seater stadium to a 20,000 seater stadium. So they sold 8,000 extra tickets. Sorry, the 5th largest. Doesn't even matter. Fifth largest. They almost sold it out. With 1 day's notice. They almost sold it out. That's crazy. And then, but it's just even some of the off the court things. Obviously, here it's the Iowa players and the Make-A-Wish situation. But if you haven't seen just everything about Caitlin Clark, it is Steph Curry in 2015. These fans are showing up an hour early to watch Caitlin Clark warm up. The only player I remember that has happened for, and I lived through Kobe's peak, I lived through LeBron's peak. People went to watch them play, sure. People showed up an hour early to watch Steph Curry warm up. I remember when they played in 2016, December 2016, they played the Brooklyn Nets. The Brooklyn Nets 2016-17 team was the most hopeless team in the history of the sport. That was the Jeremy Lin Brooklyn Nets. That was a Brooklyn Nets team that didn't have a draft pick and were still the worst team in the NBA. But I got seats like not courtside, but kind of like the lowest level behind the basket. Made sure it was behind where the Warriors were warming up. And my whole section was full. The only seats that weren't full, like that weren't there just to watch Steph Curry warm up, were Joe Harris's family, who just happened to be sitting a row in front of me. But like, Caitlin Clark's almost like that. There will be tens of thousands of people showing up 45 minutes before a game to watch them warm up. And we've seen the Miami Heat. The Miami Heat had LeBron James at his peak, and fans were showing up late to games. Away fans would fill. I watched the damn Heatles in Washington. The place was 3/4 full. The Heatles showed up to Washington 3/4 full. And it wasn't even a bad Washington team. The Fever are selling out everything. It was like the Warriors between 2015 to at the end of the first KD year. The Warriors sold every away game. It was literally the same as this. If you were at a Nets game, it didn't matter who they were playing. It might be $100 to go see the Nets against LeBron. It might be $20 to see the Nets against a bad team. But it's $300 to see them against those Warriors teams. And it was not about Kevin Durant. It was about Stephen Curry. It is the last time we have seen this type of a mania around a player. And the funny thing is that everyone's like, oh, but like she's all hype. It's been 20 games and the mania hasn't stopped. She's continually breaking records. Why is she continually breaking records? Because it's not even necessarily about the long watching her drop 40. It's not about watching her as the best player. It is watching her, the occasional 30-foot bomb, watching her pull from anywhere, watching her play at this breakneck speed where she just looks like she's playing a different sport to everybody else out there. Is she the best player in the NBA? No. Is she completely and utterly unique in the way that she plays basketball on the women's end? Yeah. She's completely unique. She's completely unique. And you can't even say that the passing isn't fun. Like, people love the Showtime Lakers. Magic Johnson wasn't the greatest scorer. He was just an orchestrator of one of the most interesting offenses. Like Caitlin Clark. Why everyone loved the 7 seconds or less Phoenix Suns. Everyone loves Steve Nash. People love these ultra fast-paced point guards that pass the ball and get everybody involved and the team that are fun to watch. And that's what Caitlin Clark has brought. You can see Aaliyah Boston is the second most voted for player in All-Star voting. Aaliyah Boston. Look, Aaliyah Boston's been really good as of late. They've played, 22 games this year, I think? I think they're like 8 and 12. Or are they 8 and 14? I need to check. What have they played? 22 games this year? 20 games? I'm not entirely sure how many games they've played. But Aaliyah Boston through 10 games is terrible. They're 8 and 13. They played 21 games. Through 10. So for half of the season, Aaliyah Boston did not even look like a top 3 post player on her own team. But since then, she's been exceptional. But she has more votes than A'ja Wilson. That is the Caitlin Clark effect. When Aaliyah Boston is more voted for than A'ja Wilson. And people are continually watching this team play. And it's more and more. She had the big game against Taurasi. She had 3 really good games against Chicago. I know they lost one of them, but it doesn't matter. She was great. So, we've never, this is a mania that might die down. But it's been unbelievably good for the WNBA. Because you can see right here, A'ja Wilson last year had 90,000 votes. She's now got 607,000. Breanna Steward, 324 or 424 votes. She had, 80,000 last year? And Angel Reese, 381,000 votes. While there are clearly not nearly as many people watching for Angel Reese, there are a hell of a lot of people watching for Angel Reese. I think it's as far as I'm concerned, as far as the biggest draws in this league go, it is Caitlin Clark, big gap, A'ja Wilson, Breanna Stewart, and A'ja Wilson. Caitlin Clark, whatever team she was on, Caitlin Clark top, then Aces, Liberty, Angel Reese. Which is still unbelievable for a rookie. But this isn't even about the play. This is just about the impact on sport. And we've never seen anything like it. And it was just seeing everything on social media, seeing the place packed up for the warm-ups, getting the standing ovation in Phoenix. Just everything about this whole situation. I just can't help but be reminded about the Steph Curry mania of 2015. I was there. I'm Irish, so I have a different perspective on this than everyone else. There's no player other than Steph Curry that has made non-basketball fans want to watch basketball. And that's why I was like, as great as LeBron's been the face of the league. If you ask me who has been the biggest player outside of America since Kobe Bryant, and even including Kobe Bryant, it's Stephen Curry. And for some reason nowadays, Tyler Hero, don't get it twisted. I don't know why. Outside of America, people love Tyler Hero. I don't get it, but people love Tyler Hero. I think it's because people love the Miami jerseys and they just get Hero on the back of them. But yeah, Tyler Hero for some reason. But I was in the Philippines and everything was about Stephen Curry. Everything, if you walked around the places, there'd be knockoff NBA stuff. There'd be a little bit of LeBron, sometimes Kevin Durant, but just Steph Curry everywhere. And for some reason, Tyler Hero. And this is a country that's as basketball mad as there is any country. I'm not going to lie. I had 3 kids. I had a Luka Doncic jersey. I had 3 kids on 3 separate occasions run up to me screaming Luka. Thought I was Luka Doncic. These are basketball, obsessed people. And there's probably a similar obsession amongst the general public with Caitlin Clark. Forget about, the Twitter cesspit, because that's not real. They're not real basketball fans. I just mean, she is now, this is must-see. Every game she plays is must-see. When Caitlin Clark's in town, you got to go see Caitlin Clark. Like, she becomes like a must-see attraction. And I don't think, as great as LeBron has been, as great as Kobe has been, we haven't seen somebody, and like the mania is going to end. The mania is going to end, just like the mania around Steph Curry ended. Like, there was a couple of years where it was like, oh my God, you have to see Steph. That mania is going to end. It could end next year. It could end by the end of this year. It could never end. But it will. But, yeah, that's just pretty much it. Like, we haven't seen... She might be the most important player for this sport we've seen since Michael Jordan. Because Michael Jordan obviously sent the game into heights that we'd never seen before. She might be the single most important player for the sport otherwise. Because half of the world's population are women. And we've seen it via tennis. We've seen it in tennis, how popular women's tennis became. How the players, because of the popularity of it, more and more people are playing the sport. And you're seeing the level of the game going up. And just like Serena Williams, just like Tiger Woods, she does seem to be the player that's going to push it. Is she the best player? No. Will Juju Watkins be better than her? Maybe. Could she be the GOAT? Unlikely because of Diana Taurasi's longevity. Could she be the best player in the world at some stage? Yeah. Either way, an incredible, incredible player. And the most popular player in all of basketball right now. And that includes LeBron James. And I don't think that's a bold statement to make. Like, people are going to watch the NBA to watch the NBA. People are going to watch regular season games to watch certain players. Like, Caitlin Clark's individual games are getting... More people are watching specifically for her than are watching specifically for any other player in the world right now. And I don't think that's a bold statement.